on. So apparently, since I can't stop talking about myself, I thought I would do this part 2 of the Q&A stuff and answer your questions from Instagram in this video. Hopefully this won't be too boring for you. Yeah, let's just jump into them. So one person asked my opinion on long-distance relationships. Oof. They seem tough, they seem difficult, but I think it's possible if you're really into someone and really invested in them and you think, you can have a great life together and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to have an opinion on something that, you don't have yourself and you've never really done yourself, but, yeah, I think they're possible if you want it, but, yeah. This person asked thoughts on climate change and what you think we should do about it. I think it's a very real concern and it's a very important thing that we should be doing more about than we're currently doing. Obviously, on a grand scale, I think investing more in renewable energy sources is a huge thing, but on a smaller scale, our little actions can go a long way. So things like switching out plastic products for paper, using more recyclable products, making sure we actually recycle. Things like when it comes to eating animal products, especially beef, cutting that out of our diet is going to do such wonders for the environment because the amount of damage done by raising cattle is insane. So I think that's a massive thing that a lot of people can do. And it's such a small thing. I know beef is a nice thing, and if it's really something you're into, then maybe cut down, to having it once a week or once a month, something like that, and make it a treat as opposed to something you eat every day. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's impossible to expect everyone to do every good thing in the world. It's very easy to look at certain activities and say okay, well, if we're gonna speak about what's morally right or morally perfect, then we should all be doing this, and we should be doing this, and we should be doing this. But let's be honest, on a practical scale, it's impossible to expect every person to do every good, morally right thing, isn't it? We can't expect everyone to do everything. So it's about looking at your lifestyle and figuring out how you can make the best impact so that it doesn't affect your quality of life, but you're still doing good things to help people. So for me, my kind of morally good things are I don't eat beef. I never wear animal products, so no leather, nothing like that. I only use vegan and cruelty-free beauty products, so including things like shampoo and hair care stuff. I never drink milk. If I buy anything like that, I buy oat milk or something like that. Things like making sure I do my recycling, making sure I try and buy recycled products when I can, and so on. And there's lots of little things we can do. And I don't think we should ever shame people when they're not doing the same things as you. So while it's easy for me to sit here and say oh, well, definitely cut beef out of your diet because it's going to help the environment, that might not be possible for everyone. That might not make everyone happy. So they might have to find other ways of doing it. And yeah, I don't think we should shame other people for their lifestyle choices when it's not hurting anyone, as long as they've got this net positive going on, if that makes sense. I don't know, I have views about this, it's just very hard to put into words. I think sometimes we put far too much pressure on people to be morally perfect, and the pressure can often put a lot of fear into people about doing anything at all, and I think it's the pressure I think does more harm than good overall. This person says, do you play video games? If so, what are you playing right now? Yeah, I'm on PlayStation 4, I love it. I've not really been playing so much recently since I moved, because especially the last 3 weeks or something, I've just kind of thrown myself into work, and I've not really been doing anything other than working and reading books and seeing my friends. And I know that's a little bit boring, but I don't know, I've just kind of been really inspired recently in terms of videos, and I've got a lot of projects on the go and stuff that I'm researching and working on. I feel really good about it. So I've not been playing so many games recently, but I am very excited to start Detroit Become Human soon. That's a game I've been wanting to play for so long, and now I finally got it, so I'm very excited to play it. I've also, as always, been playing a lot of Neverwinter. I'm a little bit obsessed with it. Trials Rising is kind of my go-to casual game when I want something for just 20 minutes. Yeah, lots of fun stuff like that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how great does it feel to not have any stake in the US election? Pretty great, but also pretty crappy now that we have Boris Johnson for Prime Minister. Still don't know how the hell that happened and why that was allowed to happen. He's an absolute tool. Will we see an animal video on the wombat soon? Oh, you always ask this. I really do want to make this video for you since you like the wombat so much. I love wombats, they're great. Soon. I would like to do more animal videos, I definitely miss them. I've got a great book that I bought not too long ago on reptiles, so I feel like that, once I read that, it's probably going to inspire quite a few videos. I'm very excited for that. This person asks, do you play music or video games? Video games they talk about. Music, no. I have no musical talent whatsoever. And also, any advice for someone that's lost his purpose? Not suicidal, just feel like I've been in the same loop for the past 12 years. I can understand that. Not been in the loop for that long, but definitely at times it's very easy to feel like you're stagnating and getting stuck. This might sound really stupid, but for me, what always helps get me out of stuff like that is making lists. I love making lists. They help me organise everything in my life, especially my feelings, and especially when I'm all anxious and worked up about something or everything. I would say definitely, like, if you feel like you're stagnating in life and you're at a point where you're kind of like a little bit stuck, start making lists. Figure out what you like about your life, what you don't like about your life, figure out what you want to be doing with your life. If money was no object, what would you be doing? And then figure out how you can kind of take steps to get there. Put an actual plan in place. Think logically and practically. It's alright just dreaming about stuff, but that means nothing if you're not actually working to get there, you know? I'm working my dream job at the minute, and it's not been easy to get here. It's taken a hell of a lot of hard work and long nights and a lot of emotional pain behind the scenes, but it was all worth it. And there are definite practical steps you can take to get here like this, but the good things in life are never handed to you. And sometimes, in order to get to the best bits, you have to go through a little bit of crap. You have to wade through a lot of mud. You have to hurt a little or work a little bit hard or be exhausted at times. And often, the hard work, the difficult stuff is sometimes what you need to kickstart you out of a kind of blank, stagnant period. So don't be afraid to get a little bit messy before things start getting good again. But yeah, you can do it. You can get out of it. What are your favourite movies and how are you doing? I'm doing okay. It's been up and down. I've definitely been throwing myself into work the last few weeks, and that's really helped. It feels good to be productive. It feels good like I'm finally making progress again and kind of getting somewhere with my YouTube channel, and things are starting to pay off again. And yeah, I'm feeling good at the minute. Don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm enjoying it while it does. Favourite films? I'm a bit of a Disney nerd, so I love my Disney films like Aladdin and Toy Story. I love Beauty and the Beast. Disney films have always been my kind of like safe spot, especially when I was going through a lot of my low points in the past. I used to just put on a Disney film and shut myself in my room and paint while I was watching this Disney film, and that always kind of helped calm me down and relax me and put me in a really, not necessarily a good state of mind, but at least a calmer, less likely to cry all the time state of mind. I don't watch so many films now as I used to when I was younger. I don't know, I just kind of like fell out of the pattern while I was with Dan for a while, but I definitely want to get back into watching more films again and start to enjoy them more. I like Quentin Tarantino stuff. I like films that are a little bit kind of like indie and out there and different. I quite like psychological horror because I'm weird like that. I love anything cute with stop motion animation or claymation, so films like Coraline I think are beautiful and I love them. Yeah, I have quite a varied taste in films, and rom-coms aren't really my kind of thing, unless it's got Hugh Grant in it, and then that's like my exception. I have a soft spot for anything with Hugh Grant. How do you overcome self-doubt and allow yourself to just do things? If I knew this, life would be a lot easier. This is going to sound really stupid and might not be what you want to hear, but sometimes I just need to allow myself to wallow for a little while and just like take some time off and just be like, okay, fine, look, have this like terrible day of like feeling crappy, and then tomorrow you can get back to like being productive and working, and it's okay to take some time off. Distractions really help as well. I really like losing myself in a book and reading or painting. I've recently started like painting miniatures and stuff, and I'm really, really enjoying it. You can probably see a few of them over on my Instagram if you want to go check them out. There's some photos over there. I'm painting one of the Dungeons and Doggies sets at the minute, which is really cute, and I love them. Yeah, go follow me on Instagram. It's at Rachel Oates, but with a 0 instead of an O because I'm annoying. And there's pictures of my miniatures over there. There's pictures of Kyra. There's stuff about books I'm reading. There's all sorts. Yeah, sometimes I go out and I like to just take photos of things, or I visit museums or anything. Sometimes when I'm having a crappy day, I like to just like take off by myself and like go spend a day in a museum and lose myself. And it's the little things like that that remind me why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have a lot of self-doubt a lot of the time. I have a lot of anxiety a lot of the time, and there are so many times I want to just delete my YouTube channel and give up. And I think, why don't I just go back to a regular job? Or why don't I just give up? Or whatever. And then I look at Kyra, or I look at my gorgeous little flat that I have, or, you know, I go to a museum in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon, or, I don't know, I just take the day off, or whatever, and I'm like, this is why I do what I do, and this is why I put up with the crap, and this is why it's all worth it. Because I'm living my best life, and I get to do this amazing job where I'm creating stuff that I'm usually quite proud of, not always, but usually quite proud of every day, and I'm learning and growing as I go, and that makes it all worth it. I don't know, I'm probably rambling here. I don't know if that made any sense, I'm sorry. It probably wasn't helpful. I'm so sorry. Oh, this one's really sweet, thank you. You're such a big inspiration to me and many others. So did you ever expect to be such a role model? Thank you so much, that's absolutely lovely. No, never expected it. I didn't think anyone would listen to me, never mind, like, look up to me and be so lovely like that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's completely shocking and unexpected, and there's a hell of a lot of pressure in it because I often feel like now I don't just have to make decisions in my life for me, but I make them for everyone who might be watching me. It does make me think a lot more about what I do and how I act, and it does, in a lot of ways, make me a better person because I feel like I owe it to you guys, which is something I'm actually grateful for, because, I don't know, I think we all want to be better people, and anything that not forces us, but encourages us to be good, I think is a good thing. It's completely, like, unexpected and still weird to me, though, and to me, I just feel like I am a regular person. I'm nothing special. I don't know. I'm just someone who's spent a lot of time working hard, and it's nice that it's finally paying off. You know, it's taken a long time to get here. Comments like this and hearing things like this, they make it all worth it. Like all the crap. So thank you. Do you have Spotify? I do. You can probably search me on there. My name's Rachel Oates. You know that. It's me. Yeah, I've actually been thinking about doing some, like, public Spotify playlists because a lot of people have been asking me about my taste in music, and, you know, they do change and it is quite eclectic, so I think it would be cool to do some stuff like that. Maybe I can have, like, a section of my website where I embed some playlists or something like that. I don't really know if that's possible. I'm sure there's a way somehow, so maybe I'll do that. And you guys can follow me on Spotify and stuff if you want. I'll have a look into it and get back to you. What's my favourite book? I have many favourite books. The one I constantly go back to and read over and over and over would probably be Jane Eyre. Other than that, maybe Alice in Wonderland. I love Lewis Carroll. I love his writing. I think he is fantastic. He's so smart and funny, and I love how he plays with, like, logic and wordplay in so many of his, like, short stories and different things. And I have, like, a complete collection of all his writing, and I just think it's wonderful. I really love, like, non-fiction books, and I think I've spoken about this quite a few times, but one of my favourite books is Forensics by Val McDermott. Is a really good introduction to forensics and how the police use different forensic techniques to solve crime, but also their weaknesses, how we started to come up with different techniques. It's not the most detailed book. If you want something more detailed, maybe look at something like Written in Blood by Mike Silverman, or there's a few others, but forensics is a very good, broad introduction to a lot of topics. It's a very good kind of, like, jumping off point. What else do I like? What else have I enjoyed? Recently this year, I really enjoyed the book Daisy Jones and the Six. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I thought it was really entertaining, really fun. I kind of hated some of the characters at times, but I don't know, something about the writing style, the storytelling, I was really, really invested in it. For crime thrillers, I love anything by Peter James. He's fantastic, and he's from Brighton, so I love that I'm, like, able to relate to the settings, because I used to live down there while I was interning at the student room for a while. Other ones that I've really enjoyed, you've probably seen my book reviews on Hot Feminist by Polly Vernon, really liked that. Fated by Benedict Jacker was a really interesting kind of modern fantasy magic-y type novel set here in London, which I really, really liked, mostly around Camden. There's some stuff in, like, the British Museum and stuff like that. So again, I kind of like books that have a recognisable setting that I can relate to. That, I don't know. Oh my god, House of Leaves. Read that this year. Fantastic. Loved that book. I didn't know what to expect picking that up, but it was so worth it. It was brilliant. Oh, the Outlander books by Diana Gabaldon. Wonderful, loved them. And then, of course, you know I love my graphic novels and my comics and stuff like that. The Fables comics, I think, are fantastic. While I was in Texas, Eric Murphy introduced me to the series Chew, which is about this guy who, like, whatever he eats, he, like, kind of gets flashes back to, like, an entire history of that thing, and he's, like, a detective, and yeah, fantastic series. Eric introduced me to that, really enjoy it. Other kind of comic series as I like, obviously I love Batman and stuff like that. I love the Detective Comics series. I love Wonder Woman, I love The Flash. In non-DC comics, I've been really into Why the Last Man, Sweet Tooth, lots of stuff like that. There's just, yeah, lots and lots of options, and yeah, I love books and reading, and it's my favourite thing in the whole wide world, other than Kyra, obviously. This person asked, what do you think about the Eugenia Cooney situation? I don't think it's my place to comment on that. I don't know her personally. I've not watched her videos or anything. I saw the Shane Dawson video. I saw the Jacqueline Glenn video. I thought Jacqueline was very genuine in her concern and her, like, wanting to tell the story. Yeah, I do think there's some weird stuff going on there. I do think Shane's video probably missed some stuff, but like I say, it's not my place to comment, and I can understand a YouTuber wanting to keep their health stuff private. It's definitely hard for me sometimes to figure out the boundaries between what I want to talk about and what I don't, and there's definitely some things that I keep definitely off limits that I just will not talk about on camera, and so if that's where her limit is and that's something that she doesn't want to talk about, I thoroughly respect that, and I wouldn't want to speculate too much, so. And finally, this person asks, I'll be moving to London for my internship. Favourite recommendations? Well, it depends what you want to do. There's so many amazing things to do in London. I definitely recommend checking out a lot of the museums. I adore the Greenwich Observatory and the Maritime Museum down there. I think they're really, really fun. There's an exhibition on at the Maritime Museum at the minute about the moon that I really, really want to go and see, so I'm probably going to be doing that in the next couple of weeks. The British Museum is fantastic if you can get over the fact that half the artefacts there are stolen from Egypt. But seriously, no, very fascinating, and I do enjoy it. It's just a little weird thing. The Science Museum is wonderful. Natural History Museum, one of my favourite places in London. The Victoria and Albert Museum, I adore it, and I think they have the best, like, what do you call them, like, extra exhibits on. Like, you know, the temporary ones that only run for a few months. Victoria and Albert has some of the best ones of them. I went to one last year called, I think it was Fashion from Nature, and it was wonderful. It was talking about, like, the history of fashion and how we use, like, natural products and so on, and also now how we can make fashion more sustainable today and in the future, and wonderful, really, really interesting. I went to another one on video game design there, which was great. The other month they had some adorable original, like, sketches and notebook pages by Beatrix Potter, who obviously wrote the, like, you know, Peter Rabbit books and stuff like that, and yeah, I read all of her books growing up, absolutely loved them. We had like a big box set of all of them, and they were like handed down from my sister to my brother to me, and so they were a bit battered by the time I got them, but they were my favourite things and I loved them. And like I say, seeing her original drawings and sketches there was amazing. There was an amazing exhibit on Winnie the Pooh the other year that, oh my god, it was my favourite thing. It was wonderful. So I really recommend the Victoria and Albert Museum. If you want kind of like going out places, and like drinks and stuff, I definitely recommend, if you can afford it, go to Sky Garden. It's beautiful. You get these amazing views over all of London. There's a restaurant there called Darwin that does the best food and the best cocktails I've had in my life. I went there for my birthday this year. My friends took me, we had cocktails, we watched the sunset over London. It was just the most beautiful evening. If you want something a little bit more fun, over near Bank, there's a great little underground bar called the Bootlegger, which is like a 20s style prohibition bar. It was amazing. Last time I was there, it was like completely empty, and the bartenders let me go behind the bar and taught me how to make cocktails, which is really, really fun. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of really cool places in London. A lot of the time sorry, I'm knocking my mic. A lot of the time you just kind of have to wander around and find places, and there's lots of hidden gems all over the place. So yeah, I love London. It's so full of, I don't know, it's just so many amazing people from so many different backgrounds, and you never get bored. There's always something to do. And I know sometimes people complain about it being expensive or this or whatever, and it is, but there's also a hell of a lot you can do for free without having to spend money. Anyway, that is me done for today. Thank you so much for watching this and my other Q&A. I'll be back to regular videos again soon. I'm hoping to carry on with my Science of Beauty series and also debunking Kent Hovind's book about the science in textbooks being propaganda and all that rubbish. But for now, thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch stuff like this. Thank you to everyone who sent me questions on Instagram and Twitter, and hopefully I will see you guys again soon.